Hello, my name is Shelley here. Welcome back for another episode of 103 Black Ice as PRC. In previous episode, we managed to take a bit more ground in Japan after some nice counterattacks. So we only took 4 provinces total in there. Of course, we are playing on speed 2 currently. We did manage to push a bit further in the western front line in here. Basically, let the Soviets take the province and we'll go in and help defend it. Although, seems like we are... Oh, why are you retreating? Oh, it's the bloody thing again, where when one of their units retreats, then all of our troops decide to retreat. Bloody hell. Well, I can't really do much about... Oh, and it's the same happening in here. No! You bastards. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take some troops from here. Hopefully the Soviets will stop retreating. Those bloody cowards. Because my troops could have still held on to the provinces quite easily. But now we risk potentially getting outflanked in here. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one behind the combat line for the time being. So we've still got a bit of a counterattack coming in from the Japanese in Chuyama. And, oh, landing craft that's level 6. Is that by chance up to date now? Not really, no. But we can keep on researching that then. We're probably ready to start doing a bit of a counterattack down here in the south. I'm going to let some of these units still rest. But I think these can start attacking into the hills. And let's have a look. How's the combat in there? So we've got... about a number of parity in there. We don't really have much of an advantage, but are they... No, they're not attacking in here, no. I think they... No, it's probably planes, actually, that are flying up above here, yeah. That seems to be the case. So the mechanized division over here will also be able to join into combat. We've got still combat with available. Of course, we do have the crowd attack happening in there, so I suspect that that's going to do a fairly good damage overall with this. I suspect a lot of the enemy units will be shattering, and of course there's a bit of... Oh, there's a bit of air combat over there. But that was 700 casualties for the enemy again. And we did get the core of infantry in here. Indeed, so the 14th Corps, we can just go ahead and redeploy that a little bit closer. And we have gotten the stuff for the mechanized corps, so let's go ahead and reorganize this. There we go. The first mechanized corps is now... Well, it's not really combat ready yet, but it's at least ready. In Hiroshima, so if we just let it rest there for a little while, we'll be fine. There's still, technically speaking, 10 more units trying to attack in Chuyama, but I think the numbers have gone down such a massive amount that we can probably wreck through these easily enough. The big problem that we might have is the combat in Himeji Akashi. Like, I don't know if we'll be able to punch through these lines yet. Nope, and we're under attack over here in Soviet Union once more. Ooh, there we go. Oh, they only got one. Oh, they split their ships now. Okay, so all the damage that we deal is into one, or yeah, only in one ship, of course. Oh, Terraspol is under attack. This is only our troops in there, so we should be able to hold this quite easily. But the problem, well, actually, there's quite a bit of troops in here, and those are holding. But yeah, the fact that the Soviet troops that decide to retreat because of whatever reason. I suppose the Soviet troops, some of them might be a bit low on string, admittedly, and I suspect that Soviets still have quite a lack of manpower. Yeah, they are getting some from events, but that's about it. They are, of course, building even more troops now. But a counterattack into measure... Ooh, I don't know if we are actually going to break through there. We might need to send in some more reinforcements into the combat. We'll send in this mercenary division as well. So now we've got the full combat with, at least. And with the air support that we have, although I don't know if we're doing regular strikes right now, we have been intercepted in here a few times. And looks like the hostile bombing on the western front, at least, is pretty painful. That's probably part of the reason why we have such a lack of officers right now. Oh, there we go. And that was a nice bombing right in Maizuru. So how's the counterattack in here? They've still got 8 divisions attacking. But it's down to 8 out of the 10 that it was not that long ago. And they're losing all more organization fairly quickly and strength on a lot of these units. So I suspect that in due time that attack will be done for. I think the armored division needs to pull back from the combat. As they're running out of organization rapidly. I'm going to go ahead and pull that one back to Onomichi. Just so that it doesn't get crowd attack constantly right now. While we are still fighting in there. Oh, and conclusion after victory. There we go. Oh, that's 18,000 casualties for the enemy. Oh, that's good. Let's go ahead and move these in. Maybe we can hold on to that. At least help hold on to some of the provinces in here. Our troops are still there. Oh, right, the Soviets are trying to do some counterattacks again by the looks of it. Right, the combat entry, we've still got 7 divisions defending, but they're down to 5 units attacking now. So that is actually going quite nicely. Now 4, There we go, that's another 1,000 casualties on the enemy side. There's quite a bit of ground attack in Okayama, though. We're not intercepting them either. Okay, where do we have interceptors? I want you to do air intercepting day and night in here. So that we can catch those bloody bombers, so they don't wreck our troops in here, because we have taken quite a bit of casualties on this attack. Of course, the enemy does have the territorial pride of 140%. Oh, well, there we go. We did intercept at least some of their bombers now. Over Tsuyama. And also Okayama. Oh, well, there we go. We should be wrecking these quite easily. That's making sure that they won't continue their bombing runs. Right, do we have anything else that we could send in there? Not really. And I suppose we've got some more infantry arriving. Let's take the 14th Corps. We're going to leave the headquarters behind, but the infantry could potentially get to Fushu. And then from there, they can get into either one of these. Right, there's the... Oh, did we have the... Yes, we have gotten the headquarters in here. Can we transport... Yes, we can transport the entire corps. So I think what we shall do is we'll transport it to Nagasaki, just to be on the safe side. Oh, and there we go. Those enemy bombers have taken a lot of casualties there. But the 54th Division definitely needs to pull out of the combat now, so let's go and do that. I'm moving that behind the combat line, so we're down to just the combat with... We're pretty low on organization, so it's not exactly easy combat in here for us either. The naval underway replenishment is now ahead of time, so we can drop that one. There's still... Oh, actually, unrestricted submarine warfare might be good for the convoy raiding organization penalty. Well, actually, it is really good for that. And there's the... Oh, there we go, yeah. Meiji Akashi, that's another 600 casualties for the enemy there. I think overall, in the combat, they still have... Actually, no, we got the advantage in numbers, technically speaking. Because a lot of the enemy units are quite low strength there. So that does help. And it looks like the attackers from Maizuru are definitely shattering slowly but surely. So we might be able to do a bit of counterattack in there at some point. We don't have a lot of planes there, admittedly, but I'd rather try to encircle some of the enemy units, but that's easier said than done right now. The attack into Himeji is not going all that well. Oh, Telenesti is under attack. Right, well, I think we can hold on to that. There's some Soviet troops there, though, that might screw things for us. If the Soviet troops decide to retreat, then we might be pulled out of the combat without any intention. Right, so we've got some ships in Hangzhou. So we'll go... Actually, yeah, we could probably drop that there. We do have the second fleet in here, which is quite a few ships already. It's 9 ships. I think we're going to get at least one... Do we have a heavy cruiser underway? We do. Wait, why did I build these in Syria? Okay, well, that's not exactly the plan that I had. But yeah, we are actually getting quite a few ships in the next few weeks. But I think we're going to have to call off this attack. The ones that aren't attacking, stop. That's a major defeat. It's 21,000 casualties for us. They're going to start doing some ground attacks, I reckon. But I think that one's going to be something that we're going to hold on to quite easily. Even with the lowest organization units in here, the enemy is going to be taking such massive casualties, both from the combat itself and the ground attacks that we're doing in there. I'm not particularly concerned about it. And the responses over here should probably move in there soon enough. We have gotten the next corps in here. Was that the 19th Corps? No, it's the 12th Corps. Yeah, but this needs to be assigned under something else. Maybe the 1st Army can be the one. So we can take the 12th Corps, move these a little bit closer as well. Maybe these can go to Matsue. And little by little we can bring in more troops in here. I mean, how's the supply situation actually? In Sasebo, we are getting 400, we need 200. That's not too bad then. So we've got a fairly good supply situation overall. We can maybe afford bringing a few more planes into the airfields here. We've got the transport planes, of course, which are still doing air supply every now and then. A lot of the planes up here are a bit damaged, although I suppose the medium bombers are in the best of the conditions available in here. That's a whole lot of planes in there. I'm going to start doing some runway creation for this one. We did just get the tech that will make it more effective. Or we take a bit less organization penalties. If we can wreck these planes here, so that they won't interfere with us too much, we should be able to punch through a little bit further. Iwami and Osaka is, well, it's... Oh, there we go, yeah, that's down to 70% strength of its max, of course. That doesn't tell the entire strength necessarily. And there we go, Maizuru. So yeah, the ground attacks are doing... Oh, Airbear took a lot of damage in Sasaki. They won't be able to repair most of these. They're still going to repair quite a few, but not most of it. And looks like the situation in Soviet Union has stabilized again. That one's going to be a fairly easy victory. There's not that much defenders across the river here. Let's go ahead and try poke it a little bit. The enemy is having a bit of lack of supplies there. That's actually one of the things. If we were to cut them off in here, potentially that might not get any supplies in there. Although there's a chance that they'll then start utilizing supplies through Romania. But we need to increase our officer recruitment again. Get that to 20 leadership. That doesn't mean that the research is slowing down even further. But we're down to 89% officer ratio right now, and that's not good at all. We're intercepting some planes. And the combat in Tsushima is... Well, okay, there's another enemy division that will probably shatter fairly soon. And a lot of the enemy units in there are in a pretty bad shape. The Mercenary Infantry Division, that was moving away. This one. Actually, that wasn't moving away, but that should probably move away regardless. The rest of them can still hold on there, and the enemy light armored division is taking pretty good casualties there. Small warship anti-submarine warfare advance, there we go. That's somewhere we can then stop researching for the time being. We could get the Death Charter as another upgrade though, although there's not a lot of submarines that we're fighting currently. But regardless, it's actually our submarines that are doing most of the fighting for us. Right, there we go. So we won the battle in Okayama. There is quite a bit of air combats in here on both sides of the front line. It looks like the troops in Maizuru are starting to be pretty bad in shape. Well, there's still a lot of troops in there, so I don't think we are able to break through the enemy lines quite yet. But the combat in Okayama is probably going to be a lot better for us soon enough. We could probably pull this one back. The 1st Mechanized Corps is something we can probably start sending forward now. Oh, there's another light armor division that they sent in. Because this can't be the same one. The previous one already shattered. But regardless, the enemy is definitely taking a lot of casualties in this. Admittedly, so we've got a fairly good supply of manpower, admittedly, so we can afford it for a bit longer than they can. Although, technically speaking, the AI can keep on running out of manpower forever, if need be. Okay, we need to get some zinc. Let's go ahead and buy that, probably from the Soviets. Yep. There we go. A little bit cheaper for us that way. Right, how's the situation in Europe looking like? The France situation, the Germans have almost pushed back to Paris, actually. The situation in Spain hasn't changed too much. I think they've lost a little bit of ground over here. They may have gained a tiny bit more ground to the northwest, or northeast, sorry. Italy is still the same. And, yeah, the Soviets did gain a bit more ground, but then they got pushed back. And looks like they might be losing a bit more ground towards, or in the central sector over here. And looks like a counterattack is not really going well, so I'm going to stop that before we take too much casualties. Also, I did promise in the comments that I would have a look at the models again at some point. So the armor... Oh, no, that's wrong. Right, so the armor, Type 59 is our medium armor. Light armor is T50. Then for the heavy armor, we've got KV-85. Then special purpose armor is a T-37 amphibious tank. T-35 as the infantry tank. Self-propelled artillery is KV-2, although I don't think that quite matches the picture. Sure. We don't... Okay, so for the anti-tank, we got the 76.2mm Soviet anti-tank gun. And then we got heavy tank destroyers, just generic. Medium tank destroyers are Su-85. Tank destroyers ISU-122. Heavy assault gun is just generic. And assault gun is Su-76. Armored car is just generic. And then if we have a look at the air wings, I-15, that's, I think that's, is that Policarpo 2 or something like that? Flying boat is Beria B6, then Tupolev T2T, and for the naval bomber, medium bomber is Tupolev Tu-14, then Ilyushin, I suppose is that IL-2M, maybe? That would make sense, to be fair. And then, Belyakov, P2, although that picture tells a different story there, I suppose. But regardless, it's a lot of Soviet designs that we have for the planes. Lavochkin LA-5 for the fighter bomber, then twin-engine fighter is Petlyakov PE-3. Interceptors are Yakolev Yaka 3U. The transport planes are Lysinova Li-2V. And then for the flotillas, we've got Project 1050 L69 class for the light carrier. Heavy cruiser Kiro class, Project 26. And Krasny Kavkaz class for the light cruiser. Destroyers are Luta class. Frigates are just generic. Torpedo boats are just generic. And motor torpedo boats are TK7 class Project 123K. And we've got S-class series 9 bits for the submarines, or the long-range submarines. Submarines are Romeo class. And then we've got a Machuca class series 15 for the coastal submarines. And then the transports are generic. Seaplane tenders to generic. So there we go. There's a little bit of things at least in there. And how we're doing on the... Okay, so the organization is a bit low on the troops in Oka. Oh, there we go. That's another... I think the enemy battleship over there in Osaka is down to like 50% of his strength. Or half of his strength. Because the strength... It's a... Usually it's a lot higher than 50, but it's like... It's taking quite a damage regardless. Ooh. Right, apparently we got a victory in Okayama without any fighting. And there's only 3 divisions attacking in Chuyama currently. Oh, and there we go, that's another bombing run there. So it's slowly damaging the port and the ship itself. And then of course they've got one of the ships in Sasaki currently. Which I don't suppose we have any planes that are able to really strike on that currently. We did have some planes up here though. So these could potentially start doing some more runway cratering in there. I want to make sure that these planes will not be a problem for us. So that's where we're starting to do the bombing runs there. Otashi is currently under bombardment there, but I think we're mostly fine. It looks like the enemy is getting pushed out of there, but I'm going to hold back for the time being. Ooh, and what do we have? We got, oh, destroyer. Right, let's put these into Hangzhou. I'll start building up another fleet in there, or mostly just preparing for some replacement ships there. Oh, there we go. There's a bit more damage on the airfield, although not that much in the end. Meiji Akashi, we still did a bit of ground attack in there. They don't have a massive amount of troops in there, but they still got quite a few. Admittedly, we do have now the infantry that could start doing attacks in there. That being said, I think what we should probably do first is get some more interceptors in here, one way or the other. We've got the transport planes there. We do have the interceptors up here. Do we have... Right, these are the reserve planes, and then we've got a decent bit of bombers and such in here. These are doing the intercepting around... Let's just give these orders. Intercept day and night around... Actually, all the way there. This armored division is going back to Hiroshima. We do have the motorized division up there. That could be moved back up to the front line. And then we've got some more troops or more infantry heading in. We do, of course, have some more troops in mainly the naval corps, admittedly, that could potentially do landings somewhere into Shikoku, but I don't know if we are going to be taking that anytime soon. Now, to be fair, while there's a decent bit of enemy troops in there, if we can, with the submarines, stop the enemy from bringing any troops into the island, I think with just 2 corps and a bit of air support, we might be able to clear that out. Now, do we have another corps available? I suppose we've got this corps in here. So let's redeploy these in, and I suppose we can send in the landing craft already down towards Miyazaki. Rebase that there. Because if we can just get like 2 corps of troops in here, well, first 1 corps and then bring in a 2nd corps, we might be able to then clear out this island. That's going to clear out a nice airbase for us to utilize and take an airbase away from the enemy, and then start pushing towards potentially into Wakayama and start to kind of encircling the enemies around Osaka. Admittedly, that's a lot easier said than done. Oh, and there we go. There's another counterattack from the Germans. But I think our troops have dug in fairly well, so I suspect that it's probably going to be fairly good combat for us there. Assuming that the Soviets don't start retreating from the combat, which can still happen. Let's go ahead and pull back one of these motorized divisions. We can probably send that. No, the motor is definitely not in shape to move back in there. Right, once we get a bit more troops in here, we can probably split the infantry corps that we're... Oh, right, this is going to Matsue. Right, well, we could maybe send some of the troops into here and help the defense. Oh, right, we lost the sync shortage. Commander decision making advance, and is that... Oh, right, there we go. Now we're getting the transport ships. We did lose 2 of them previously, so that's at least sorted out now, and let's go ahead and just drop in the destroyers. We'll actually go ahead and rename that as the reserve fleet, so that we know where to pick up some replacements if need be. Do we have any more planes in here that we could still utilize? So we got the medium bombers there. Those are already doing the sorties accordingly. Did we have any more planes up here near Tibet? We do actually have more planes there. Oh, there's some Soviet planes there as well. Okay, well, we've got light bombers up here. We could probably bring these into Hiroshima. And start using those as maybe a bit more of... Actually, we could potentially... Oh, no, there's not that many planes in there, as far as I can tell, so we don't actually need to do sorties in there. We could potentially help with bombing Osaka, or maybe just doing some ground attacks into Maizuru. That could also help. But the light bombers that we have aren't necessarily quite as good. Actually, what is the level? Well, yeah, it's a bit behind in times, but it's not that bad. In the end, there's the night combat. Right, so that's going to be the last level for the... It's not going to be researched anytime soon, but we don't do that much night combat with our fleets right now anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. And the combat in Tsushima should be a major victory. It is almost over unless they start sending in more troops there, which is entirely possible that they will. But right now, I don't think we're in too bad a situation. We can send these two back to Hiroshima to reorganize in there. And how's the organization max on... Oh, it's only 50 for the armored unit. And 55 for the motorized infantry, so it's not that great sort of average organization in there. Lost some aluminum. Radar for cruisers advanced, that's good. And there's more transport. We'll also have a massive transport fleet. That's going to allow us to transport a lot of troops. Oh, well, there we go. Oh, it wasn't a major victory. But we lost 8,000 men, they lost 69,000 men in that combat. Of course, we may have lost actually a bit more than that, thanks to the ground attacks that they've been doing. But regardless, we won the combat. And we got... Well, we don't have too many troops in there currently. I'm going to go ahead and take... I guess this one could be moved back to Hiroshima for the time being. We're going to send 3 infantry over there, and we'll take another 2 from here into Tottori. And have we got more troops in here to attack with? Not a huge amount yet. So those will have to wait. We've got the landing craft up here already. So at least the naval corps could be landed over here in Shikoku. We'll of course need to set up an invasion port there for a brief while somewhere, but that's going to allow us to then clear out the island. We can then push back the, or maybe break out the, or well, rather push away from the port of the battleship that they have in Sasaki. And then that's probably going to go back to Osaka. Afterwards, we'll need to then figure out where exactly they go. They might be going back to like Nagoya or somewhere around there, or maybe they'll go onto the northern coastline, who knows. There seems to be a bit of ground attack going over here in the western front, which is probably costing us quite a bit of manpower, and especially the officers. But I think we've dug in fairly well in the end, so I'm not too concerned about it in retrospect. And it looks... Oh, we're only ones defending in Yarmolinci currently. And we're taking a lot of casualties in there. Admittedly, the enemy is taking pretty hefty damage there as well. So it's not one-sided as such. Oh, there we go. We did a bit of a ground attack on the port strike on the ship again. Still not quite enough damage there. Oh, and Himeji Akashi. So a lot of these troops are actually in fairly bad shape. How much do they have manpower in there? 88,000. Once we get some more reinforcements in here, or this one in here, we could probably start doing another counterattack into the castle. Let's go ahead and send these 7 to attack. The rest can still wait for a little while. So we've got 120,000 versus their 88,000. Our troops are a bit more effective, I reckon, and I think there's going to be some shatterings happening, or hopefully at least. They've got 11 divisions total, though, so a number of divisions is definitely larger on their side, but like half their units are either fascist militia or conscripts, so not the finest troops. Oh, research production, I'll take that. And logistical warfare focus. Oh, right, that's level 2. We don't actually want to go any further than that, because we don't want to impact our industry too much, but having the supply throughput and reducing supply transfer costs is going to be quite nice. Also, naval base efficiency, another 20% in there is quite useful. But that should be up here, yeah. We can drop that one for the research queue. And what's the other thing that we got? Fire control system. Right, that can still continue on. So we've got 2 combats going on in the western front. And I think we are... Oh, right, there we go. That's a good ground attack in here. Oh, and they're down to 9 units now. Make that 7. So they are retreating, some of them, and of course the ground attacks have probably done a pretty good damage as well. So as long as we can keep these going, we can definitely break through... Oh, yeah, there we go. We are going to get to Himeji Akashi very shortly, actually. Now, whether we can actually form up a pocket over here then in Maizuru or not remains to be seen. Might be slightly easier said than done, but regardless, we'll do our best. We could actually go ahead and send in maybe a couple of units from here to join that combat. So we'll have even more troops in the combat. There we go, that's another victory in the Western Front. One of our units is in pretty bad shape though, so I'm going to pull that one back. We could maybe send one of the motorized divisions in there to help instead. And hopefully we can still hold on to that province, all things considered. I see efficiency went up, that's good. And there's only one, oh, there we go. So we took over 6,000 catalysts in the combat, but at the same time, we're taking another important province. That's going to allow us to then start threatening the troops in Osaka, as well as maybe going to Zugura. To be fair, do we have more troops in here? We do. I'm going to take another 2 mechanized divisions, move in there. We'll try to encircle Maizuru, and then we can destroy the enemies in there. Now, of course, most of them will probably just shatter. I'm expecting at least, but at least we can then clear out that. Then we have more provinces over here to advance further east to. Like, if we can get to Kyoto, that'd be pretty nice. Of course, that is not initially all that simple thing to do. But I think we're going to send these 2 attacking into Tsuruga. There's only the headquarters in there, so that should be a quite simple combat. Plus, we got the shore bombardment going on, so I suspect that that's going to be fairly quick encirclement. Well, there's a bit of air combat over Maizuru. They got we've got a lot of interceptors in here, well, that's for sure. Oh, we are intercepting some Romanian planes as well. That's good. Not a lot of damage in Maizuru on the troops, but that's alright. Oh, they got both the battleships back in here, do they? I suppose they do. Or they built another one, I don't know. But probably they managed to slip the other battleship in there. There's still quite a bit of enemy troops in Maizuru, and we still haven't gotten through the attack into Tsuruga. But that's... oh, they got the reinforcements in there. Oh, actually, that reminds me. We've got some bombers that are probably not doing anything currently. Yeah, can you reach that one? Oh, you can. There we go. That's about as far as you can reach from there, though. And then we've got another one over here that is resting. I think this one was doing some ground attacks in here anyway. So we'll go ahead and start doing ground attacks there. There we go. So that's one of the headquarters done for. And with some ground attack support in here, Tsuruga, we are... oh, yeah, we've got some planes in there already. So they got a... actually, it's not even a full division that they got defending in there. And a headquarters. Okay, well, they got some more troops in there now. So it's not really that great situation for us. Let's go ahead and take one of the mechanized divisions then, joining into the fray. Oh, there we go, Sasaki. Right, they don't have the ship there, but we are doing the damage on the airfield currently, which does mean that they won't be doing as much damage on us, of course. Right, we do need a bit more naval bases. Well, we are building some more naval bases at least. We're also building a lot of infrastructure, or industry rather, not infrastructure. But a lot of that is not going to be done anytime soon. We're still fortifying Beppu just in case, although it's not really needing it anymore. We've got some more troops in here that we could potentially move about. Do we have... oh, right, yeah, we've got the garrison there. So this could potentially join into the troops to do the future landings with. And we've got some of the troops in here already. I suppose this one's one of them. We'll redeploy that. And then the armored division can move back here to the front line. These 3 can still wait for a little bit more for the organization. They are getting it fairly quickly, though. Ooh, naval strike tactics advance, and port strike organization penalty reduced, and naval strike organization penalty reduced. Both very, very useful. Ooh, we're out of production. Or rather, we've got room in the construction queue now. I'm going to go ahead and build a... actually, what do we need? Probably more planes, quite frankly. I'll get some more interceptors. The more we have those, we can wreck the Japanese Air Force in here. Then we can make Japan to surrender. Let me just double check the war goals, though. I have acquire territory. There's also Conqueror from Britain, so I could probably add in Conqueror war goal as well. Although, what's the acquired territories? There's Sakhalin. That could be useful. But no, we're just going to go with Conquer. But yeah, it seems like Tsuruga is not going to be quite as easy victory as I was hoping for. I guess we'll go ahead and send another unit in there. That is Mountain Woods though, so yeah. Infantry will probably be our best bet in this combat, plus air support. We did manage to at least win a lot of ground in here. I suppose we could probably go ahead and send in the mechanized division further east. Ooh, Division HQ advance, level 10. Oh wow. Dealing some damage on the ships in Osaka, and right, was that in command and control? It was, but we can actually keep on researching that. How's the combat in here? Oh, we've got another unit that needs to retreat. I guess we can send one of these in to assist with that. We need to keep this battle going, but we are about to win that combat. Well, there we go. Ruger. Oh, that is a lot of units in there. Ooh, there we go. Conclusion of the victory. Now, Lindsay, we took 12,000 casualties, it took 15,000. So not exactly the best, but probably not the worst either. Okay, we got 6 divisions attacking 6 of theirs. If we have a look at the manpower situation in the combat, we do have about 2-to-1 advantage in there. Of course, I suppose what I could do, even though we don't have the encirclement completed yet, we can start attacking over here. If we take Maizuru, rather, that's potentially going to allow us to then attack into Taruka from another province. And of course, right now, since we're attacking in there, they can't get reinforcements in here. So it should be somewhat easy, and we are still doing the ground attacks there regardless. So it should be very much doable. Installation security level 3, well, there we go. I believe that was the last level, wasn't it? That's in construction. Yes, that is the last level. Well, that's good. Down to 205 research. We are still 90% officers, though. Admittedly, we're playing on speed 1 or 2, so it will take a while to have much of an impact. Well, let's go ahead and send some more troops in here. Yes, there's a lot of troops in Osaka. I think we can go ahead and send in maybe one of the mechanized divisions into the combat. It's not necessarily the best terrain, but I think the heavy armor in there will be very much appreciated in this combat. Oh, there we go. Victory at Maizuru already. Oh, wow. Huh. Alright then. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the link down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.